Here's why buying motion graphics might just be a much better option than trying to build your own. Let me explain. Alright guys, now I hope you're all good. So here's a little confession. I know how to make my own titles, effects, transitions and all that malarkey myself. I mean, I've got my own website where I make all sorts for Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, and maybe one day in the future I'll get around to doing some DaVinci Resolve ones as well. Who knows? However, I actually download motion graphic templates from third-party companies like MotionVFX all the time. So here's why, and perhaps why you should do the same as well. And to help me explain, I'd like to thank today's sponsor of this video, which is indeed MotionVFX. But more about them later. So let's crack on, shall we? So the biggest reason to buy instead of build is time, because time is money. And I know that sounds very corporate indeed. But it's true, because these assets take ages to build and perfect. Some of these presets that I've made on my website literally took me days, if not weeks, to develop and perfect, in the hope that they would be the best that they could be for anybody that bought them. And I stand by them. I mean, I took a lot of time to fine tune them, iron out all the bugs, kinks, adding so many customizable features I could try and think of that can set myself apart from the other people that are selling these things online as well. But is that time well spent, or could I use that time to work with more clients, work on storytelling, create actual videos for this channel, and more importantly, spend more time with my family? Because what I've learned is my time is valuable. And I don't just mean my professional time. I mean, yes, that should be valuable too. What I value more is my free time. My time with my wife and kid, my friends and family. And if I'm spending extra time on top of making these videos to also make every title, effect, preset, I'm going to miss out on so much. And if you take away one thing from this video, it's your time is valuable. So spend it wisely. And no matter what anybody else says, you can't do it all. It is okay to pass some things on. I feel like in this industry, we kind of expected to be able to do everything that's like related to videography and photography. And that's just not the case. And surprise, surprise, neither can anyone else. So don't be fooled into thinking that those creators that you follow and somewhat look up to do everything themselves. Because they don't. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have the skills to do it all. It just means that they have to prioritize what they do. And anything that they can't fit into their schedule, they either pay for someone else to do it, or they pay for products that help with that particular process. Let's look at stock footage, for example. If you need a drone shot flying over a beautiful beach in Greece, then you kind of have two options. You can buy a drone, you can fly out there and film it yourself, or you can download a high quality 4K stock clip that someone else has filmed. The same goes for music. You need a great hip hop track to go alongside your recent project. Again, you can either learn how to rap, book a studio, record and produce it yourself. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Anyway, where was I? Or you can download a high quality tune from an online subscription service such as Audio, Epidemic Sound, Artlist for example. It's whatever works best for you. And for some reason we're all on board with paying for a subscription to download music and stock footage. However, when it comes to paying 50 quid for a motion graphics pack, we turn our nose up at it. And with MotionVFX, once you've bought it, that's it. You can use them in any future project moving forward. Unlike music subscriptions, where you need to keep paying to continue to use the music. I mean, it's just annoying. So it's all about priorities. You decide what's more important to spend your money on, basically. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to show you the benefits. One of which is the professional polish. Because, well, sometimes, only sometimes, they're just better than me. Pre-made templates are often already pixel perfect because unless you're an absolute wizard when it comes to After Effects Fusion or Apple Motion, then you'll undoubtedly hit a wall where there's just something that you're trying to do and it just won't work and you're forever trying to figure it out. Because I have spent hours, if not days, just trying to figure out one step in a graphic that I want to happen, but for some reason the software either won't allow it or I just can't figure it out. Which is where the folks at MotionVFX have you covered. They have a large team of extremely talented content creators who spend all their time creating an array of motion graphics, titles, transitions, effects, colour grades, whatever it may be, to the highest standards that pretty much cater for everyone and almost any situation. I mean, they have a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. Whereas I'm just one guy. I can't do it all. So not only do I not have the time to make everything that I want or need, I physically couldn't even come up with half of the stuff that they came up with. They're just too talented. Because even if you're good, you don't wake up every morning with fresh inspiration. So sometimes it's good for your own creativity and growth to take some of that weight off your shoulders. So they can elevate your creativity and your production value, because just by having these assets at your disposal means that you can think of cool, unique ways to implement them into your videos. They can be like the missing piece of the puzzle. And you may even find an effect that could spark inspiration for an entire video, because before, it perhaps wasn't something that you could achieve. Which is the beauty about MotionVFX, because once you've bought them, you have them for life. There's no need for a subscription, which is music to my ears. Meaning, over time, you can slowly build up a catalogue of these assets to use, but only have to buy the ones that you want. Whereas with subscription services, you're paying for everything, right? Which may sound good, but actually a lot of the time, it's a lot of stuff that you're perhaps not even interested in or you'll never use. So you're paying for everything, whereas you'll probably only use about 10%. And a lot of the time, it's quantity over quality. And if you stop the subscription, that's it. You can't use their stuff anymore, which sucks. So I'm very much in favour of single payment models, like MotionVFX. Now I'm not saying you should go out and buy a ton all at once, because, well, that's just not clever, is it? Basically, just take your time, research a lot, and have a look at what you feel might benefit you the most, which is exactly what I did. So if we take a quick look at how we can use just some of these assets from MotionVFX to completely change the narrative of an edit. So here we have a nice drone shot overlooking a beach in Greece. And yeah, on this occasion I chose to get a drone and then fly out to Greece instead of getting a stock clip. It was a holiday, I mean, come on. But anyway, it looks nice on its own, and I guess it somewhat tells a story. However, if we take a look at just one example from MotionVFX, which is the high-tech pack. Personally, I really like this pack, which is obviously why I chose it. Now this pack has over 70 presets included, with a variety of titles, effects, transitions and other assets that all match within the same high-tech style, and they all have very similar cool animations as well. And these can transform this little clip into a mini movie. So if we go into the effects panel and type in M High Tech, this will bring up all of the effects and transitions that are included within this pack. And we're going to scroll down and find Location Effect, and I'm going to throw that over the top of this footage. Then over in the inspector, we have all these attributes we can play with. So although they do come themed, you can customize these any which way you like, so you can make them look your own if you want to. However, for this example, to try and not make the video like 10 days long, I'm going to keep everything pretty standard and just show you the main features. So for this example, I'm just going to adjust the position to hover over the person on the lilo in the sea. Nice and easy. And then I'm just going to change the text to make it look like there are coordinates. Now if we just adjust the position, and that's it. I'm not going to do much else for this example, and I'm just going to play that back. Looks pretty cool. Now the cool thing is, you can stack multiple effects on top of each other to make it look even more impressive. Which is exactly what I mean by having these at your disposal. So now, maybe I want to add some motion into the footage. And MotionVFX have some amazing motion presets that just, honestly, they just transform your footage. They are amazing. It just helps you from having to try and figure these out yourself and deal with so many keyframes. So if we head back to the effects library, in the same pack, we also have a series of movements, which allows you to add some really unique and dynamic movement into your footage. So let's choose this one, which is called High Tech Zoom. Now I don't want this to happen right away, so I'm going to put an adjustment layer over the top, then maybe stagger it a little bit so it comes after we've located our subject, and then I'm going to drag this effect onto the adjustment layer instead. Just adjust the positions in the inspector, nice and easy. You can even adjust the zoom, the size of the frame, and the colour. I mean, there's so much you can customize on here, but for this example, I'm just going to leave it there. So now when we play that back, we've got this really cool location effect and then an impressive target acquired zoom isolating our subject. How cool is that? It's already looking cinematic. And then to make this even cooler, we can add a little cherry on top to further enhance our story. So for this, I'm going to go back to the effects library, add what's called a placeholder callout from the same high-tech pack, place it above the rest, and just after where we've located our target, let's just adjust the location and distance a bit. Make sure we've got it bang on. That looks pretty good. So the cool thing about this is it has a drop zone, so we can add our own image. So why not add a little bit of humour by putting a picture of my son on an inflatable ring. Now if we just adjust the position, get him to where we want, and there we have it. If we play that back, in just a few minutes, you've got yourself a very professional edit that is definitely going to impress your average Joe. I mean, I know Joe, and he's not average at all. He's very nice, and he's very talented. He's a joiner Joe. But anyway, so the best part about it is you didn't need to spend days making it yourself. Instead, it was all simple drag and drop. Everything is already done for you. All the hard work is done by MotionVFX. All you had to do was customize it the way that you wanted it. Boom, done. And let's face it, even if you could make this yourself, you might not have included all the steps that we've taken. So your edit might not have looked half as decent as this one did. Not that it looked that good. I mean, it was very impressive to me. I mean, I loved it. But, you know, as Spielberg-esque footage goes, it's not the best, but, you know, polished a turd, as it were. Well, not much of a turd. It was a nice drone shot. So just by having these assets at your disposal means that you can get creative and manipulate them to work for you. So, for example, like I did, I stacked these on top of each other to make the edit even more impressive. Whereby before, you know, I might have stopped at the crosshair, or I might just not have bothered with the call out feature because, it's not really worth the effort. Whereas now, just by having them, I can drag and drop them, give it a go, nothing's holding me back. I can get as creative as I like. And because MotionVFX make these in themed packs, it means that you can have consistency throughout your projects. So in each pack, you'll have matching titles, effects, transitions, and various other assets that will all work together and offer a similar animation style and an overall aesthetic. These will all help to maintain consistency and also make it look like you built them yourself, instead of just trying to bodge a lot of random ones and put them together. Now I'm not saying you should go out there and spend all of your money on these effects packs because that wouldn't be fair, and also it's not very clever. But instead, maybe just take a look at the ones that you feel might benefit your workflow the most. So for example, if you're a vlogger, you might want to look at the vlogging pack. If you're a YouTuber, they've got plenty of YouTubing packs. Or maybe you do tutorials, then the M tutorial pack is definitely worth a look at. You get the point. So don't think this video is about me trying to sell you MotionVFX. Honestly, it's not. Instead, it's about looking at it from a different perspective. What can actually help improve my videos? So for example, if I pay for that music subscription, or if I buy that new lens, or if I spend 50 quid on a MotionVFX pack, will that actually help benefit my craft? If the answer is yes, then honestly, that's money well spent. If not, then don't bother. And with anything, do your research and spend your money wisely. Don't just go off what that one person or that one YouTuber has said, because everyone has different circumstances and everyone has a budget. However, if you do fancy checking them out, I'll leave a link in the description box below. It is an affiliate link, so that does tell MotionVFX that you came from me. Only helps out the channel, so that's much appreciated. Plus, they keep coming up with new stuff. Like they've just come out with their Keynote 2, which looks incredible. Wish I got that one. But honestly, they do come up with some really cool stuff. As I said, they've got a team of people working on these things, so you know that you're going to get high quality graphics. Plus, they have so many online resources such as tutorial videos on how you can get the most out of these packs, and excellent customer service, which really matters. And I had a few questions the other day, so I hopped on their online chat. They had me sorted in minutes. I did not expect such a quick response time. So I can't recommend MotionVFX enough, and even though I can make these graphics myself, I'm still going to continue to download them. It's not about laziness, it's about consistency, efficiency, polish, and making room for the most important parts of video content creation. And it'll enhance your storytelling and boost your production value. So that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this. Hit the bell, all those nice things that will put a smile on my face. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
I know, you heard a little something about me, right? People love to talk, everybody wanna tell me right. I know, bunch of fakes all around me